Ben was a space explorer from Earth. He traveled far across the stars to reach a new planet called Zera. The planet was full of strange trees and glowing rivers. The sky had two suns, one bright and one soft. Ben's ship landed softly on the green land. He stepped out carefully, breathing through his mask. The air was fresh but strange, and the ground felt soft under his boots. Ben was on a peaceful mission. He wanted to learn about new places and maybe meet new friends. Ben walked near a small lake. The water shone with light from the suns. Suddenly, he heard a soft sound, like crying. He stopped and looked around. Near a big tree, he saw a figure sitting on the ground. It was a woman, but she was not like any human Ben had seen before. Her skin was smooth and pale blue. Her eyes were large and shiny like stars. She had long silver hair that moved with the wind. The woman's shoulders shook gently. She was crying. Ben felt his heart move with sadness. He wanted to help but was not sure what to do. He slowly walked toward her. The woman did not move at first, but when Ben came close, she looked at him with surprise. Her eyes were full of sadness and fear. Ben took off his mask carefully and smiled softly. "I am Ben," he said. "I mean no harm. Are you okay?" The woman wiped her eyes quickly. "I am Mira," she said in a soft voice. Her voice was clear, but had a strange melody. "I am alone here. My people are gone." Ben sat down near her. "What happened?" he asked gently. Mira looked at the ground. "A bad group came to my home. They took my family and friends. I ran away. Now, I have no one left." Ben felt pain in his chest. He wanted to say something that would help, but words felt small. Instead, he reached out his hand carefully. Mira looked at his hand, then slowly let him take her hand. Ben wiped her tears gently with his thumb. Mira's eyes opened wide. She looked at Ben and smiled faintly. "Now I have no reason to cry," she said quietly. Ben smiled back. "You are not alone anymore." For the first time, Mira looked hopeful. She stood up slowly, holding Ben's hand. Together, they walked toward the shining lake. The suns reflected in the water, and for a moment, everything felt peaceful. Ben knew his mission had changed. He was no longer just an explorer. He was now a friend, and maybe the only hope for Mira and her people. After the sun set behind the two glowing stars, the land of Zera grew quiet and cool. Ben and Mira sat near the lake's edge. The water still shimmered with the last light, and the soft wind sang through the trees. Mira looked at Ben with new hope in her eyes. "You are kind," she said. "No one has been kind to me in a long time." Ben smiled softly. "I want to help you, Mira. You do not have to be alone." Mira's lips curved into a small smile. "I want that too. But my people are far away. They are lost. I am the last one here." Ben's heart ached. "We will find them," he said with quiet strength. Together, Mira looked at him, her eyes shining. "Do you really believe that?" "I do," Ben said simply. "Humans never give up. We find ways. Even when things are hard." Mira thought for a moment. "I want to tell you about my people. Maybe it will help you understand why they are in danger." Ben nodded. "Please, I want to learn." Mira began to speak softly. She told him about the Alari, her people, who had lived on Zera for many years. The Alari were gentle and wise. They could talk to the plants and animals. They used their powers to help the planet grow and stay healthy. But not everyone liked the Alari. Mira said, "There's a group called the Crixies. They want to take the Alari's power for themselves. The Crixies are strong but cruel. They do not care about life, only power." Ben listened carefully. "Why do they want your power?" "The Alari have a gift," Mira said. "We can heal. We can grow food where there is none. The Crixies want to control everything on Zera. If they get our power, they will be unstoppable." Ben felt a chill. "That is terrible. We must stop them." Mira looked away, sadness returning. "It may be too late for my people." The Crixies attacked quickly. Many were taken or hid in secret. Ben placed his hand gently on hers. Then, "We will find the ones still free. We will protect them. You are not alone now." Mira's smile grew stronger. Thank you, Ben. I want to believe and hope again. They sat together in silence, watching the stars begin to shine in the dark sky. The two suns were gone, but the small lights of faraway worlds filled the night. Ben thought about his home on Earth and the battles humans had faced. He knew hope could grow even in the darkest places. Mira, Ben said, let's make a promise. She looked at him with curious eyes. We will find your people and keep them safe. And when the time comes, we will stop the Crixies from hurting anyone again. Mira nodded, her voice steady. I promise. Ben smiled. Good. Then we start tomorrow. The next day, Ben and Mira prepared for their journey. Ben showed Mira some tools from his ship. There was a small scanner that could find life signals and a device to protect them from danger. Mira was amazed by the technology. Your people are clever, she said. Ben laughed. We have to be. The universe is full of surprises. Mira stood and stretched. I will teach you about Zara's plants and animals. They can help us. Ben followed her into the forest. The trees were tall and strange, with glowing leaves and soft colors. Mira reached out and touched a flower. It opened slowly, shining bright blue. This is a healing flower, Mira explained. It can close wounds and stop pain. Ben watched carefully. Can it heal a broken bone? Mira smiled. Yes, but it takes time. Nature's way is slow, but strong. They moved deeper into the forest. Mira showed Ben small animals that changed colors and birds that sang in a way that made the heart feel calm. This place is full of life, Ben said. It feels alive, like it is watching us. Mira nodded. Zara listens. We must respect it. As they walked, Ben asked, what about the Crixies? How will we face them? Mira's face grew serious. The Crixies have weapons and many soldiers. They fight with anger and hate, but they do not understand kindness. They fear what they cannot control. Ben thought deeply. Then we will be stronger with hope and care. Mira looked at him with a small smile. You have a brave heart, Ben. The sun climbed higher. They stopped near a clear spring to rest. Ben looked at Mira and said, together, we will find your people. We will bring back the light to Zara. Mira's eyes shone bright. And I will stand by your side, Ben. No more tears. That night, they camped under the stars. Ben looked at the sky and felt a new kind of hope. He was not just an explorer now. He was a friend and a protector. Mira sat beside him, quiet and peaceful. She had smiled today more than she had in years. Tomorrow would be the first step on a long journey. A journey to save a lost people and to prove that kindness and hope could be stronger than fear and hate. The next morning, Ben and Mira woke early. The air was cool, and the light of the two suns began to warm the land of Zara. Today, their journey would truly begin. Ben packed his small bag carefully. He put the life scanner and the protective device. Inside, Mira gathered some healing flowers and small fruit that grew near the spring. Are you ready? Ben asked, looking at Mira. Mira nodded. Yes, but I feel a shadow coming. The Crixies are near. Ben's face grew serious. We must be careful. The Crixies are dangerous. Mira looked toward the forest edge. They hunt my people like animals. They do not care if we are hurt or scared. They only want power. Ben stepped forward, determination in his eyes. Then we will protect you and anyone else who needs help. They started walking through the tall trees, their steps quiet on the soft grass. The forest was alive with sounds, birds singing, leaves rustling, and far away, the soft roar of a river. Mira stopped suddenly and held up her hand. Listen. Ben closed his eyes. He could hear it too, distant footsteps, heavy and fast. The sounds were not of animals. They were from many creatures moving quickly, the Crixies. Mira whispered, they're close. Ben took out the life scanner and switched it on. The device beeped softly, showing small signals nearby. There are many, Ben said. We need to hide. Mira looked around and pointed to a thick bush near a large rock. Quick, there. They crouched behind the bush, holding their breath. Ben's heart pounded. The Crixie soldiers passed close, their heavy boots breaking small branches. Their armor was dark and sharp, with glowing red marks that made them look cruel. Ben felt a chill but stayed calm. Mira placed her hand on his arm. "We must be quiet. They cannot see us." They waited until the sounds moved far away. Then, Mira whispered, "They are searching for me. I must be very careful." Ben nodded. "We will stay close. I will protect you." They continued walking, moving slowly and quietly. Mira showed Ben how to listen to the forest and feel the energy of the plants. She taught him to notice small changes, a broken leaf, a changed smell, that could warn them of danger. After some hours, they reached a small village hidden in a valley. The homes were made of living wood, shaped by the Alari's magic. Soft light glowed from inside, and peaceful music filled the air. Mira smiled, but her eyes were still cautious. "This is one of the places where my people hide." Ben looked around in wonder. "It is beautiful." An elder Alari woman approached, her skin a soft green and her hair white like snow. She looked at Mira with warmth. "You are safe here." "Mira," she said. Mira nodded. "I brought a friend. He will help us." The elder smiled at Ben. "Welcome, friend of the Alari. Your kindness is a light in dark times." Ben bowed his head. "Thank you. I want to help your people." The elder's face grew serious. "The Crixies grow stronger. They will not stop until all Alari are captured or gone." Ben's hands clenched. "We will find a way to stop them." That night, Ben and Mira stayed in the village. The Alari shared stories of their past and hopes for the future. Ben learned about their powers and their deep connection to Zera, but the danger was never far. The village had to hide from patrols, and the people lived in fear. Mira told Ben, "The Crixies take those who have the strongest gifts. They want to use us to grow their power." Ben looked at her. "We must stop them. But first, we need to know their plans." The elder said, "There's a Crixies camp not far from here. They gather soldiers and prepare to attack more villages." Ben felt the weight of the challenge. "Then we must act fast." Mira nodded. "But we cannot fight alone. We need allies." Ben smiled. "I know how to find allies. On Earth, humans work together to face big problems. We will do the same here." The next morning, Ben and Mira planned to scout the Crixies camp. They needed to learn more about the enemy's strength and strategy. Before they left, the elder gave Mira a small charm. "This will protect you from harm," she said. "Use it wisely." Mira took the charm with care. "Thank you." As they walked toward the enemy's land, Ben felt a mix of fear and hope. He thought of the tears Mira had once cried and the smile she now wore. They would face danger together, and with courage and kindness, they would change the fate of Zera. Ben and Mira moved quietly through the forest, keeping close to the shadows of the tall trees. The light from the two suns was soft now, and the sounds of Zera's wildlife filled the air around them. They were going to scout the Crixies camp, a place full of danger. Ben felt his heart beat faster, but Mira's calm presence gave him strength. She knew the forest well, and her steps were sure and gentle. As they walked, Mira spoke softly. "The Crixies do not understand this land. They see it only as a place to take power. But the forest is alive. It listens and protects those who respect it." Ben looked around and felt a new sense of respect for Zera. "I want to learn more from you, Mira. Your people's connection to this world is amazing." Mira smiled. "And I want to learn about your world too, Ben. Humans have many talents. You use machines and ideas to solve problems." Ben laughed quietly. "Yes, we do. But sometimes we forget to listen to the world around us." Mira stopped and touched a glowing leaf on a tree. "Balance is important. The Alari know this. When we lose balance, pain comes." Ben watched her and thought about the kindness in her eyes. He realized that Mira was not just an alien. She was a friend who had taught him something new about life. Suddenly, Mira held up her hand to stop. She pointed ahead, where smoke rose in thin gray lines through the trees. "The Crixies camp is there," she whispered. Ben nodded. They moved carefully toward the smoke, hiding behind bushes and rocks. The camp was large, with many soldiers in dark armor. They talked loudly and moved in groups, preparing for another attack on the Alari villages. Ben took out his life scanner and watched the signals. There are many, he said quietly. They have weapons and machines. We need a plan. Mira looked at the camp and then at Ben. They fear the forest. They do not trust it. We can use this. Ben thought for a moment. If we can make the forest help us, we can surprise them. Mira smiled. I will try. She closed her eyes and put her hands on the ground. The soft earth began to glow under her touch. Leaves and branches started to move, growing quickly around the camp's edge. The soldiers shouted, surprised by the sudden growth of thick plants and vines. Some tried to cut through, but the plants were strong and fast. Ben watched in awe. Your people's power is incredible, Mira. Mira opened her eyes and looked at Ben. Thank you, but we must be careful. The Crixies will fight back. The camp fell into confusion. The soldiers tried to break free, but the forest kept them trapped. Ben saw an opportunity. We should use this chance to send a message to your people. Let them know help is coming. Mira nodded. Yes, they need to hear hope. Ben pulled out his communicator and sent a message to the hidden villages. Help is on the way. Stay strong. After a while, the Crixies began to cut the plants and free themselves. The fight was not over. Ben and Mira retreated quietly, but the bond between them had grown stronger. As they walked back to the village, Ben said, Mira, I am glad we met. You have taught me so much about strength and hope. Mira smiled warmly. And you have shown me that kindness can change everything. That night, under the stars, they sat by the fire. Mira showed Ben how to make a simple healing drink from the forest plants. Ben shared stories of Earth's stars and seas. They laughed and talked, feeling the weight of the coming battles, but also the power of their friendship. Ben looked at Mira and thought, together, we can protect this world. The dawn on Zera was soft and golden. Ben and Mira stood quietly on a small hill, watching the Crixies camp in the distance. The plants and vines that Mira had called upon before still blocked parts of the camp. But the Crixies soldiers were trying hard to clear a path. Ben adjusted the life scanner on his wrist. They are stronger than we thought. We must be careful. Mira nodded. But the forest is with us. It will help when the time is right. They had spent the night planning with the Alari elders. The villagers were ready to defend their homes. But the Crixies were many and armed with dangerous weapons. This would be a hard fight. Ben looked at Mira and said, Are you ready? She smiled softly. For my people, I'm always ready. As the sun climbed higher, the sound of marching feet and metal armor grew louder. The Crixies had come to finish their attack. Ben and Mira moved down the hill toward the village. Along the way, Mira touched the trees and flowers. The plants seemed to respond, growing thicker and stronger. At the village, the Alari prepared their defenses. Some made shields from strong leaves, while others gathered healing herbs. The villagers looked to Ben and Mira for hope. Ben raised his voice. We fight together. We protect our home and each other. The villagers nodded, their faces full of courage. Soon, the Crixie soldiers arrived at the village's edge. The battle began with loud shouts and the clashing of weapons. Ben used his technology to protect the villagers. He activated the protective device, creating a soft force field around the homes. The Crixie's weapons hit the shield but could not break it. Mira moved through the fight like the wind. She used her powers to make the plants grow fast, wrapping the Crixie soldiers in vines and stopping their attacks. Ben saw a group of Crixie soldiers trying to reach the village's healer. He ran quickly and pushed them back with a small energy beam from his tool. The healer smiled and used her magic to help the injured villagers. Ben felt proud to see such bravery and care. The fight was long and hard. The Crixies were many and strong. But Ben and Mira worked together with the villagers. The forest was alive, protecting its own. At one point, a Crixie soldier tried to sneak behind the village. Mira saw him and called the trees to block his path. The soldier fell, caught in thick roots. Ben and Mira stood side by side, their hearts beating fast but steady. They knew they had to keep fighting, not just for themselves, but for everyone who believed in hope. After many hours, the Crixies began to retreat. Their numbers were fewer, and the forest was too strong. The villagers cheered quietly but did not celebrate too soon. Ben looked at Mira. We won this battle, but the war is not over. Mira nodded. Yes, but now my people know they are not alone. The elder Alari woman came to Ben and Mira. Your courage has given us strength. We will rebuild and protect Zara together. Ben smiled. And I will be here to help. As the sun set, the village was quiet again. The stars began to shine, and the soft glow of the two suns faded. Mira looked at Ben with a smile. Thank you for standing with me. Ben looked back, feeling the warmth of friendship and hope. Together, we can face anything. The morning sun rose gently over the village of the Alari. The air was fresh, filled with the scent of blooming flowers and the soft sounds of birds after the battle. The people were busy rebuilding their homes and healing their wounds. The village was alive again with hope. Ben and Mira stood together near the edge of the forest, looking out toward the land where the Crixies had retreated. We have won a great victory, Mira said, her voice calm but strong. But the Crixies will return if we are not ready. Ben nodded. We have to be smarter and faster. We can't let them hurt your people again. Mira looked at him with trust. I believe in us. The Alari and humans together can protect Zara. Over the next days, Ben helped the villagers build stronger defenses. Using human technology mixed with the Alari's magic, they created barriers that blended with the forest. These barriers could warn them if enemies came near. Mira taught Ben how to use her healing powers to help the injured and grow food faster for the village. Ben was amazed at the power of nature when combined with care and knowledge. One afternoon, as Ben and Mira walked through the village, they heard a soft call. A young Alari girl ran toward them, holding a small device from Ben's ship. Ben. Mira, she said excitedly, we found a signal. It is from others like me, hiding far away. Ben's eyes lit up. Where? Can you find them? The girl nodded. Yes, we can go tomorrow. That night, the village gathered to hear the news. The elders smiled, and Mira's eyes sparkled with hope. We will find your people, Ben said, speaking to Mira and the villagers. We will bring them here to safety. Mira took Ben's hand. Thank you. You have given us new life. The next morning, Ben, Mira, and a small group of brave Alari set off through the forest. The journey was long and difficult, but their spirits stayed strong. Along the way, they faced challenges. Thick vines blocked their path, and strange creatures watched them from the shadows. But Mira's connection with the forest and Ben's technology helped them move safely. After several days, they reached a hidden valley. There, a small group of Alari waited. Scared but alive, Mira ran to them, tears in her eyes. You are safe. Now, she said softly. The Alari people hugged each other, grateful for the rescue. Ben smiled, feeling proud to be part of this moment. But the danger was not far. The Crixies were searching for the Alari who had escaped. Ben gathered the group. We must return quickly. The village needs to be ready. Mira nodded. We will protect them all. As they traveled back, the bond between Ben and Mira grew deeper. They shared stories and dreams and the hope of a better future. When they returned, the village was ready, the barriers were strong, and the people were prepared. The Crixies came again, but this time they were met with courage and power. Ben and Mira led the defense. The forest rose to protect the Alari, and the villagers fought bravely. The Crixies could not break through. After a long struggle, they fled, defeated. The village cheered quietly, knowing this was the greatest victory they had ever seen. Mira looked at Ben with tears of joy. We did it. Your people's courage and my people's strength together won. Ben smiled warmly. This is just the beginning. We will protect Zara and bring peace. The elder Alari woman spoke softly. Today, we have hope again. Thanks to you both. As the two suns set, Ben and Mira stood together, watching the stars light the sky. Mira smiled and said, I have no more reason to cry. Ben looked at her, feeling the truth of her words. Neither do I. The village of the Alari was calm and bright under the soft light of Zara's twin suns. The air was filled with the scent of fresh flowers and the gentle hum of life returning to the land. After the long fight and the great victory, peace had come at last. Ben and Mira stood near the edge of the village, looking out at the beautiful forest that stretched far beyond the horizon. The trees swayed gently in the breeze, as if whispering thanks to the two friends who had saved their home. Mira smiled, a warm and happy smile that reached her shining eyes. Ben, she said softly, you have done more than I ever hoped. You gave us hope when we were lost. Ben looked at Mira and felt a deep feeling inside. You gave me hope too, he replied. Your courage and kindness taught me what it means to truly care. For many days, Ben had helped the Alari rebuild their homes and heal their wounds. The villagers welcomed him as one of their own, and Mira's people began to smile again, no longer afraid of the dark times. But now, the time had come for Ben to return to his own world, to Earth. His mission was complete, but his heart was heavy at the thought of leaving. That evening, the village gathered for a special ceremony to say thank you to Ben. The elder Alari woman stepped forward and handed Mira a small, glowing crystal. This is the heart of Zera, the elder explained. It holds the spirit of our world and the power of friendship. Give it to your friend, Mira. Mira took the crystal carefully and smiled. Then she turned to Ben and held out her hand. This is for you, she said, a symbol of trust and friendship between our people. No matter where you go, you will carry Zera with you. Ben accepted the crystal, feeling its soft warmth in his palm. Thank you, Mira. I will treasure it always. Mira stepped closer, her eyes shining with emotion. Will you come back? Ben nodded. I promise I will. This is not goodbye, it is see you soon. They stood together under the sky, the two suns casting golden light around them. For a moment, the world was full of peace and hope. Before Ben left, Mira showed him a secret place in the forest, a small garden filled with the healing flowers and glowing plants. This is a gift from the Alari, she said. Take a seed. Let it grow on your world. It will remind you of us. Ben smiled and took a seed carefully. I will plant it on Earth, so the light of Zera will shine there too. The next morning, Ben said his final goodbyes. The villagers and Alari came to the ship to see him off. Mira stood beside him, strong and proud. As the ship lifted off, Ben looked down at the land he had come to love. He thought of Mira's words. No more tears. He smiled, feeling hope and friendship stronger than ever.